I guess it's a massive contrarian indicator. I mean, you're seeing metals go higher in the face of rising real interest rates, in the face of drawdowns off the ETFs, in the face of a rising dollar, in the face of metal being taken off of the exchanges. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Really, since Thanksgiving-ish last year, the demand has kind of waned, and maybe it has to do with the rise of things like Nvidia and the performance of Bitcoin. Not only have we seen all this happen, but we've seen selling into the rally by a lot of people who have been, oh, finally it got back to where I bought it, I'm out. Capitulation, maybe. I don't know. I mean, look, you can, as you know, as well as anyone, the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. The things that you've talked about forever will come true. It's just a matter of when, because you base a lot of what you talk about upon mathematics, economics, and you sprinkle some old school logic on there, it'll come true, just never when we think. But the public is asleep at the switch. And at the same time, you got the biggest, most sophisticated money in the world, the central banks. Forget about how much money they have. They know the playbook, and they are loading up as the public is divesting. I look at it as the biggest contrarian indicator of my career.
In a recent interview, Andy Schectman sheds light on the perplexing but promising trends in the metals market. Despite rising real interest rates, ETF drawdowns, and a strengthening dollar, metals continue to climb, confounding many investors. Schectman highlights the significant interest from institutional investors, with premiums on Silver Eagles soaring to unprecedented levels. With demand surging and supply constraints looming, Schectman emphasizes the unique potential of metals as a hedge against economic uncertainty.
Now we're beginning to see premiums rise for the first time on Silver Eagles. They kind of lead the way, but just about everything else has bottomed to levels that I'd never seen in my career, where silver bars, kilos that were being bid at $2 over spot are being bid slightly back a spot right now. It makes no sense to me. And I think for those people who want to buy metal, there's never been a better time, not only in how effed up the world is and how scary and crazy things are, but at the same time, the biggest money in the world is using all of this rhetoric and this counterintuitive environment, really, to load up, as the American public is doing the opposite and asleep at the switch. I had a conversation with my dad about this. We had the good fortune of doing 2 orders last year, both in excess of $50 million. And the first one bought just under 1 million Silver Eagles, like 900 and some thousand. And we did it in just a couple of days. And premiums back then were pretty high, north of $12 an ounce. This might have been 2 years ago. The second one was last year. And that person actually didn't buy much in the way of Silver Eagles, mostly in the way of 1,000-ounce silver bars. But to answer your question, my dad said, what are you going to do when you get someone with real money, who comes to you and says, I want to spend $200 million and I'll take anything you have? What are you going to do if they wipe out your entire inventory? Will you take the order? And I had to really think and reflect about that. I mean, look, there's a lot of money out there, man. You got NFL and NBA players signing for 30 million, 40 million a year. And I'm not just choosing those, but what I'm saying is that, I remember 1988, after the Twins won the World Series, Kirby Puckett signed the biggest sports contract then in sports pro sports history, $3 million a year. And now you're seeing numbers get so big that what's going to happen when people wake up and some of these people with really big money say, I'll take everything you have? Could I fill it? Maybe over time, maybe doubtful. I mean, because I might take the order and say, yeah, but you got to give me time to get it. And then I'm reliant upon, Miss Gibson and the Mint to perform, because, there's only so much of it out there, and the backdated stuff has really disappeared. And that's one of the things that I noticed recently is that we've begun to, for the first time in almost 6 months, um, clear up our inventory. That's been, that's why premiums have been so low, because all the dealers are just choking on inventory, and we've sold out of basically all of our backdate Silver Eagles, which means you're reliant on 2024. So could I do it right now? No, not all in Silver Eagles. I could get 50 million worth of silver, no problem, but not all in Silver Eagles. But I really want people to understand that this industry, more than any other, can change at the drop of a hat, because what is really flush one moment is completely the opposite the next. Let me explain. In March and April, now prior to March and April, when Silicon and Signature failed, and you go back 2.5, 3 years, I mean, premiums on Silver Eagles nationwide were north of 12, $13 nationwide. And I was telling everyone, even as a authorized purchaser for the US Mint, or reseller rather for the US Mint, don't buy it. It's too expensive. There are better things to buy. Even though if I had my choice, it would be Silver Eagles.
Andy Schectman's insights into the silver market continue to captivate as he delves into the intricate shifts in demand and supply dynamics. With a surge in client numbers following the banking failures in March and April, Schectman reflects on the industry's agility amidst unprecedented challenges. He credits pivotal interviews, like the one with Jack Sermon, for influencing market sentiment and triggering significant changes in silver premiums. As global interest in precious metals grows, fueled by geopolitical developments like the Belt Road Initiative, Schectman underscores the strategic importance of silver, advocating for increased recognition and allocation.
When those banks failed in March and April, we added 14,000 clients in 45 days. It sold out of our Silver Eagles like that. And now I have to make a decision. So I bought a couple 100,000 Silver Eagles from the mint or from the distributors, and was paying over $9 an ounce to buy them. And then, not blaming you for this, I actually thank you for this. I really think that your interview that you did with Jack Sermon, I think I got it right, I hope,
Head
from
of
the
Silver
US.
Eagle sales. Yep.
Yeah, it was one of the two most important interviews I've ever heard. And I'm not kissing your ass, which I would, because I think you deserve the credit. But it was one of the two most important, relevant interviews I've ever heard. The other being Chris Marcus's with Bart Chilton. And I blew my mind. I remember sitting on a raft in my swimming pool, listening to that interview, saying, my God, did he just say this? And I think largely because of that, and all of the venom pointed at the mint, they magically came up with 4 million Silver Eagles, and then premiums went, I could buy them for $4. Cost me $450,000. And there's nothing I could do about it. So the point I'm getting at is that, like that, things can change in this industry. And I think that when people wake up in this country, I think they're going to realize that they want gold and silver. And because this move that we've seen, this really strong move, is so ignored by the mainstream, it's unbelievable. And it's so underallocated to the mainstream, it's unbelievable. So what is flush right now in terms of low premiums and good availability, let's just not focus specifically on the Silver Eagles, across the board. That will change in a millisecond, because it is estimated that if you take Joe Sixpack all the way up to the Harvard Endowment Fund, the allocation in gold and silver is less than 0.5%. So if that just increases to 5%, well, that's a tenfold increase in demand. In 10 seconds, it's all gone. So could we do a $50 million order? Yes. In Silver Eagles? No, not unless you want to allow me to rely upon the US Mint to fulfill their monthly and weekly allocations. And I'll say, yeah, I'll get that delivered to you in the next month or two. But short of that, no, that would be a heavy pull right now. Silver was up 10% last week alone, but it opened up this morning in Shanghai up 7% limit, and triggered the stops for a few minutes. So yeah, and when you talk about the Belt Road Initiative, it's not a small project. It's the largest infrastructure project in human history. It's 75% of human population, 50% of global GDP. And there's a new development in the Belt Road Initiative that I don't think many people know about, and it just happened recently in the last couple of days or weeks. And the Chinese government have launched a new public blockchain infrastructure platform, and the platform is called Ultra Large Scale Blockchain Infrastructure Platform for the Belt Road Initiative. It aims to offer an underlying public blockchain for cross-border applications, according to an April 1st post by the Confluence Network. The main focus of the project is to create a public blockchain infrastructure platform. The platform will be able to support the implementation of cross-border cooperation projects along the Belt and Road Initiative. So when you talk about just how big this could actually be, and you look at the fact that in Shanghai, silver is priced over $3 an ounce higher than it is in the West. They know the real value of silver. It will even be priced higher before this is all said and done. They're just slowly arbitraging everything over. So silver's priced $3 higher. The Shanghai Exchange opens up limit up today. They now have a new trading platform that sidesteps SWIFT that allows these. I mean, it's all coming into place. The infrastructure is being built right in front of us. And that's probably part of the reason, too, in terms of silver's really strategic use that you have. I don't know how many companies in Canada and think tanks and groups that have petitioned the Canadian government to relabel silver from industrial to strategic, because you're right, it is strategic and it's disappearing. And without it, you know what you are. You're up a river without a paddle.
Today we delve deep into the insights of Andy Schectman on the dynamics of the precious metals market. From the seemingly contradictory rise in metal prices to the strategic importance of silver amidst global developments like the Belt Road Initiative, Schectman's analysis offers invaluable perspective. Remember, the markets can change swiftly, and staying informed is key to making informed decisions. If you found today's discussion insightful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more expert insights and analysis.